I think we have high expectations for our club. We had high expectations last year. We had higher expectations than I think most the year before. I think we probably have higher expectations. Every team has higher expectations. They probably should for their group of players. We tend to like our own guys the most. But yeah, no. Look, that's where you want to be. That's what we want. The last season was a blast, but it ended with a lot of smiles and a lot of people really proud of what we accomplished. But I think we want to get to a spot where there are teams out there that have that season, they're disappointed, with how it ends. And that's really the next step. And that's something we want to taste. That's something we want to experience. And it's a tricky balance because we want to get there as soon as possible. We also want to make sure we have a chance to sustain it and walk that balance. And that can be hard, but that's the fun of the job.
Do you think having more eyeballs on you,
Yeah.
following last season and now this rating that you got there, that it puts a little more pressure, good pressure,
Yeah.
on the team to perform?
I think, speaking for myself, but I think for all of us, there's a lot of self-inflicted pressure, that's there, and I think we hold ourselves to a really high standard, and try to do the best we can to be prepared to make the most informed decisions we can at any given moment, and to learn as much as we can as fast as we can from our decisions. But I don't think, the expectations are higher. Every win might be a little less gratifying because you're expecting a few more. Every loss a little more painful. I think just the emotions of it day to day. But I think behaviorally and how we go about our work, I hope it's similar.
And you hope ultimately that puts, as they say, more butts in the seats.
Yeah. I want us to be in a position to have as competitive a team as possible, and those of us that were here in the postseason and for those two games against Houston, that was as fun and enjoyable of an environment as I think I personally have ever seen here, going back to '07, even in the '08 run. That was pretty special, and hope we put ourselves in a position competitively where we put a product out there where the fans want to come out and kind of duplicate that effort.
It's good seeing that crowd.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was, yeah.
Speaking of the Astros, has the MLB talked to you anything about the Astros and stealing signs and any of that stuff?
Yeah, no, nothing. Not really, and we'll let them, run their investigations and do their business as they see fit. It's something that I think, we only have so much time to try to improve our club and what we need to do. That's our focus. And if there's news or ramifications or legitimacy to any of the stuff that's out there, obviously we'll all probably find out at the same time.
If there was one goal you could try to set out to accomplish next week, what would it
be? That's a great question. I have goals for the winter. I think we have goals for the winter and where we want to be opening day, which is to try to put ourselves in a position to be at least as competitive as we were last year, while also doing what we can to be at least as strong as we are right now in our future outlook. That's pretty difficult to accomplish, and that's what we envision. There's no. Next week's a catalyst for those conversations. It's not a start and end point to the possibilities of what we can do with our roster and where we'll end up. But I think to try to answer your question more specifically about next week, I think it's just continuing to understand the possibilities that are out there for us, understand the sequencing of moves that may exist, whatever they may be, and be ready if a team's ready to go. That we're prepared to make a decision, whatever that may be.
Has Stu given you a specific payroll that he wants to stay with?
Yeah.
Sometimes that fluctuates.
Yeah, I think look, we've been afforded opportunities to be opportunistic when there's the right moment, the right player to do something, and fully expect that to be the case this year. That was the case last year, and I think we elected to go with some younger players that we felt deserved the opportunity, and to not layer a veteran player on top of them in some cases. And those are the kind of decisions we'll have to make this year. But I think we have a look, we have our historical behaviors and kind of where we're been, and I think that's largely understood as to why. But I do believe that there's some flexibility in that, and if the right deal comes along and in the right way. That's not to raise expectations. That is just something that we are afforded, but we really like the club we have, and there aren't that many ways to try to round it out without making some moves in tandem potentially.